Hello, I'm Lee Carter, President of Sleep Essentials. This is another one of my videos. I've done numerous videos on mattresses, and this particular video is about Tempur-Pedic and about the formaldehyde that's in Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Now, when I get done, you're going to see this is less about Tempur-Pedic than it is about informing you about chemicals in mattresses and the Consumer Product Safety Commission passing regulations that are harmful to consumers but very beneficial to chemical manufacturers. Well, anyway, what I'm talking about is Tempur-Pedic mattresses have formaldehyde in them, or at least they have had formaldehyde in them. It's always a possibility that now that they have a class action lawsuit against them, that they no longer are putting formaldehyde in their mattresses. But anyway, what I mean by that is, I need to tell you a few stories to illustrate. Now, back in 2009, an elderly gentleman came in my showroom looking to buy a mattress, or actually looking for more information. He'd already bought a mattress. He bought a Tempur-Pedic from a local furniture retailer, and they delivered it, set it up in his bedroom, and he didn't even sleep in it. He walked into the bedroom, and the strong fumes, the smell coming from the mattress started to make him sick. You know, he's telling me this story. Said he started to have headaches, nausea, shaking, and he immediately called after of course it was after the delivery guys had left. He called the retailer they bought it from. He said, something in this mattress is making me sick. Will you please come and remove it from my home? The retailer, of course, is hoping the consumer will get used to the smell, so they took their leisure coming back to get it from him. They took a week. He told me they took a week to come back and get it. They're just hoping you'll get used to it and then you'll keep it, because they certainly want that sale. So they don't care if you really get sick. But as he was relaying this story to me, he was telling me, he goes, the symptoms that he's having are the same symptoms he gets when he's exposed to formaldehyde. And at the time, you know, the fire retardant regulation was fairly new. The chemicals were, you know, the information on the chemicals were a little uncertain. But I told him, I said, well, Mr. Poole, as a matter of fact, formaldehyde is a flame retardant chemical that could be used in that mattress to make it flame retardant for the regulations by the Consumer Product Safety Commission that began in July 2007. And he said, well, that's what's in my mattress because I know my symptoms. And he said, I never would have bought that mattress if the retailer would have explained to me that there's formaldehyde in the mattress. So naturally, you can understand his frustration. The Consumer Product Safety Commission requires mattresses to be flame retardant, and mattress manufacturers, most of the bigger brand name manufacturers, are using chemicals to do it because that's the cheapest way to meet the standard. And there's no labeling requirements. Now, of course, you know, as you buy a mattress, it comes with a law label on it, and the law label tells you what's in the mattress, like if it's made of cotton, or if it's made of polyurethane foam, or if it's made of latex foam, if it's got horsehair in it. All of those materials, if it's in there, it's labeled on the law label. The Consumer Product Safety Commission could have easily required mattress manufacturers to disclose on the law label what chemicals are in it. I mean, after all, if you're a consumer and you're allergic to formaldehyde, wouldn't you like to know the product you're buying has formaldehyde in it, like Mr. Poole? But they didn't tell him. No one tells the consumer, and that's the reason why I'm doing this video. Now, several years later, well, let me back up a minute. Now, Mr. Poole, when I met him, I used to see him at the grocery store from time to time, and I kept asking him, would you be kind enough to write me a testimonial of your experience? And he did. He hand wrote. He's an elderly gentleman, so he's probably not using the computer. And he hand wrote me a letter explaining his experience and telling everything I just told you. And at the very end it says, by the way, I have found out that I am deathly allergic to formaldehyde. So this is my proof of his story, which is his testimonial. Now, several years later, a woman came to see me who had bought a Tempur-Pedic and had an allergic reaction to it as well. And of course, she called the retailer to come and get it. And when they did, before they took it back, she cut a little tag off of the bag that the mattress came in. And she goes, you may be interested in seeing this. Now, she saw my longer video, my mattress education video, which you can see yourself, and I highly recommend, because what you're watching now is a supplement to that longer video. In that longer video, I teach you everything there is to know about mattresses and the fire-retardant chemicals and the regulations and why they did the regulations, what the Consumer Product Safety Commission says about the chemicals. So she came in because she saw my video, and she had a Tempur-Pedic that made her sick. Well, she sent me this label here, and it says at the bottom corner, California 93210, compliant for formaldehyde. So I have Mr. Poole who says he knows his symptoms. There's formaldehyde in a Tempur-Pedic. Then I have a label off of a Tempur-Pedic bag that says that their mattress is compliant with California standards for the usage of formaldehyde. So in other words, they have formaldehyde in their mattresses, but it's not so much that it does stay within the regulations of California standards. So they do have formaldehyde in their mattresses. And she wanted me to have this, so she gave it to me. Well, then a couple months ago, a customer of mine was explaining to me that, did you know that the Tempur-Pedic now has a class action lawsuit against them for the formaldehyde in their mattresses? I said, no, I didn't know that. Good information. AllenStewart.com. It's ALLENSTEWART. AllenStewart.com is the website of the attorney's office that is taking on the case. It's a class action lawsuit against Tempur-Pedic for the VOCs and formaldehyde in their mattresses. And I'm going to read this to you right off the website. It says, if you bought a Tempur-Pedic mattress or pillows without knowing they contain formaldehyde and other volatile organic chemicals, you may be entitled to compensation by joining a class action against Tempur-Pedic. If you would not have purchased Tempur-Pedic products knowing that they had formaldehyde and other unwanted chemicals in them, please join a consumer class action against Tempur-Pedic by simply filling out the form below. Tempur-Pedic claims that its mattresses and pillows are free of harmful VOCs, such as formaldehyde and CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, harsh chemicals that can trigger allergies and asthma. But testing shows that it's just not true. So anyway, I have 3 pieces of evidence that prove that they're using formaldehyde in their mattresses. Formaldehyde is a known carcinogen, and there's no labeling requirement. So Tempur-Pedic does not tell the consumers up front, oh, by the way, we use flame retardant chemicals, specifically formaldehyde, to meet federal flammability regulations. They don't tell the consumer. And one of the main points I want to make is that the Consumer Product Safety Commission does not require labeling requirements. Who exactly are they looking out for? I mean, the Consumer Product Safety Commission admits that all the chemicals that could be used are toxic. But yet, they don't want the consumer to know. The reality is that the Consumer Product Safety Commission does not work for the consumer. I mean, after all, why should they? You don't directly pay them. You don't hire them. You can't fire them. You didn't vote them into office. You can't vote them out of office. They are appointed by the president, and it's political payoff. So these people get into the Office of Consumer Product Safety Commission, and they pass regulations on behalf of those who's paying them under the table. That's a political payoff. Okay? So we now sleep in toxic chemicals to make the chemical industry rich. And we think the Consumer Product Safety Commission is looking out for the consumer. In fact, they are not looking out for the consumer. Why should they? If they really cared about the consumer, people like Mr. Poole here would like to have known that the Tempur-Pedic he bought had formaldehyde in it. They did not require manufacturers to disclose what chemicals are being used so that consumers can know, oh, well, I can't buy that product. It has formaldehyde, so I'll have to look for a different product. Well, any other product you look, that's probably got chemicals in it too. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. This is a supplement video to my main video. It's on my website, mattresseducation.net. I highly recommend you taking it's an hour and 20 minute long. I highly recommend you taking the time to watch that video. I get into details as to why the Consumer Product Safety Commission required these mattresses to be flame retardant. It was for the chemical industry. It was not for the consumer. And this is just a supplement to that video, because when I produced that video, I didn't know about I knew about it, but I had no proof of the formaldehyde in Tempur-Pedic. Because of the class action lawsuit, because of this label, I'm pretty sure that indeed they do have formaldehyde, or at least had formaldehyde in their mattresses. I hope this is helpful if you were looking for a Tempur-Pedic, or if you're looking for any big brand name mattress. You'd better get educated, and I've made it easy for you. mattresseducation.net. Please check out all my videos before you buy your next mattress, and hopefully I will convince you through my video you want to buy one of my mattresses. For more information, again, mattresseducation.net. You can click on it here on the video. I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much.